Politics make you a retard. Everything that makes you a retard, and I mean retard in a different way, okay? Everything that makes you slow or makes you insufficient is your idea, what goes behind in your interests. And when you focus on your interests or something that you like or a hobby, right? And then you let it be your life, you become a zombie, dude. You become a complete zombie. Tom Grossi, Green Bay Packer fans, they suck, dude. They suck so bad. They talk about AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk never in his miserable life will ever be Will Harris. I'm sorry to say that, but and I think AJ Hawk, he's had his good moments. He's had good moments. But you people have no idea the science that goes in behind Will Harris. You don't even have a fraction of a thought of it. The thought with Will Harris was this, okay? So here's the thought that goes with Will Harris that makes him different from a lot of football players. First is just wearing a Lions jersey, okay? Because I don't look at a Lions player just because they're a Lions player. I look at a player because they're an actual football player, right? Will Harris stays on every game. He doesn't die. The guy works way too hard, man. He works so hard that there's never a game you don't see him. And many NFL players will have that time where even if they're a good NFL player, they'll be off the field, You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Green Bay Packers players that are not on the field. Right, Jer Bear? Yeah, Jer Bear. But Will Harris, his career is unremarkable. All the things that he's done, he's the number one ball locator in NFL history. In NFL history, when it comes to finding the ball and you need somebody to recover the ball, it's Will Harris, okay? So he has a trait that separates him. He has a trait that separates him as a player, okay? He has a trait that anybody would kill for. Anybody would kill for the idea to be known as a ball locator, He has a game where he won, where he's the reason that the Lions beat the Falcons. He has everything that you would look at in an NFL player. It's it's a brain fart. It's a brain fart of him. He just shows up. He shows up. He shows up. He shows up. He's getting older and he's still getting interceptions. He is he's a nuisance. He's like a beautiful nuisance, like that beautiful nuisance. He just doesn't go away. And he begs that thing. He has that thing, that constant Patrick Mahomes thing. He has that constant reassurance of a name. Of a name where you're talking about Peyton Manning, right? You're talking about Adrian Peterson, okay? You're talking about Kamara. You're talking about the common thing. You're talking about Randy Moss, right? You're talking about the people that it's just oh my gosh, whether I love or hate this person, I'm gonna say their name. Whether I hate this person, whether I like them, I'm going to find some way to talk about them. And at first, I'm going to probably hate them. I'm probably going to hate them, or I'm not going to like them. But eventually, after time, again and again and again, I'll eventually get to know who they are. And you pay attention to Will Harris, not on him being a Lions player. No, you pay attention to him because who was a person that people didn't pay attention to? People didn't pay attention to Joe Flacco. Yeah. So how many 49er fans are there? Oh, did you like that, 49er fans? Did you know that? Oh, yeah. I knew that. See? So think about the player. You know what I'm saying? Don't think about what team they're on. Don't think about what franchise they've been through, what they are. Just know that they're going to stick in your head. They're going to be in your head. Personally, the thing that separates him, okay? That separates this guy, and the reason I talk about him so much is I've played defense. I've played defense. If you were to focus your career on football and you were passionate about football and you made yourself a career about football and you decided that you were going to be something in football, you're going to get injured, right? You're just going to get injured in football because football's a tough sport, okay? But Will Harris has battled through his injuries. Will Harris has the emotion of happy. He has the emotion. He has the emotion of a guy that never gives up. That's the crazy thing that I think people never, ever see. They just don't see it. They don't see that he does not have give up. So the athletes that motivate and capture a person, that actually capture a person, are the people that don't give up. And that's Will Harris. If you're wondering why Brian Branch gets these crazy tackles, it's probably because of Will Harris, dude. You know what I'm saying? There's no probably. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. The football player is a football player. That's what a football player is. That's like Hamilton, right? As much as I could hate on Hamilton for the Baltimore Ravens, he's still Hamilton, right? That's all those players that just show up and they go out there and they do. That is the freaking thing. Even Micah Parsons, because sometimes you would hate Micah Parsons because he's not necessarily perfect, right? But Micah Parsons, he does go out there and he does his thing. That's there is a lot of players. There's over so many football players. You can't even like see it through. That's the Godwin, you know. That's the Godwin. Godwin's an easy example of that, right? Godwin has like this notation where, you know, the Tampa Bay fan base, if they had a jersey, it'd be Godwin jersey. You know, that'd be the NFL jersey that they desire. It's a Godwin jersey, not a stupid Mike Evans jersey. You know, a Godwin jersey, right? There's the crazy Kansas City Chief offensive lineman that is just out of this world. It's like he's a computer, you know? You know who I'm talking about. He's like a computer because you can't get past him. He protects Patrick Mahomes with like the single. If it was like he's gonna die or protect Patrick Mahomes, he'd die. You know, he would die to make sure Patrick Mahomes was protected. But when you see past, and you're a smart person, and you see past your eyes, your eyeballs, and you see the good football players, that's when it clicks in you, you know? When you see like an actual football player. But if you don't see an actual football player, you won't see it, you know? You got to pay attention to almost every single thing. Like, how would you, when you're looking at the Indianapolis Colts, right? Okay. When you're looking at the Indianapolis Colts, how do you get to like the Blackmen, right? How do you get to the actual Blackmen? How do you get to the actual Colts players? How do you find that Colts player that you want to pay attention to, right? How do you find a Jacksonville Jaguar you want to pay attention to, right? How do you find CJ Stroud? See, CJ Stroud's kind of the crazy anomaly that is a basic. It's a basic thing. At the beginning of the year, do you know who was talking about CJ Stroud? It was not Rich Eisen. It was not ESPN. It was me. It was me. Me. Dang it, me. Nobody was talking about CJ Stroud. It was me. I talked about CJ Stroud because he's an annoying kid. Okay, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud had my eyes glued, right? They had my eyes glued in a different way because I was like, I don't like what I see in Bryce Young. I do not like what I see in him. And then here's the thing about CJ Stroud. I always paid attention to CJ Stroud because I love watching Michigan Wolverines football. So when I saw CJ Stroud, I was like, this guy, as much as I could try and say that, man, this guy sucks, because that's half the time I'd be saying when he was in Ohio State. I'd be like saying, oh, man, CJ Stroud, he just sucks. But I knew something about Stroud, right? I knew something about this guy. The thing that I knew about when I saw CJ Stroud, okay, when I saw him, is I knew that he was going to be that guy, kind of like Aaron Rodgers, not like Aaron Rodgers, I would say, but like I would say like the DNA behind it. You know, he was the DNA that was gonna be like, I'm gonna be here, you piece of crap. Like me, the guy that's talking right now. Like he's like, I'm CJ Stroud and I'm gonna be here. Justin Fields. People have been critical on Justin Fields, but I'm telling you, there's a measurement to Justin Fields. And you should really think about when I talk about quarterbacks. Because if you know anybody that talks about NFL quarterbacks, it's me. It's me. That's why, like, I've in the past, if you really knew who I was as a person, I was the person that was telling people, Matthew Stafford's got to win a Super Bowl. What did he do? He won a Super Bowl. You know, I'm that person that has a DNA in my head. It's in there. It's in there. Oh, why do you think you should be concerned about Jared Goff? Let me tell you why you guys should be concerned about Jared Goff, okay? It wasn't the fact that he just went to a Super Bowl, okay? It's the concerning factor that comes with Jared Goff that makes me pay attention that actually makes me pay attention to this guy is he was at the Pro Bowl, right? And he had the nuisance of CJ Stroud. He has that nuisance of what CJ Stroud has. CJ Stroud has the nuisance is like it's like a metric term of like, you're gonna have football players you hate. You're gonna have football players you never wanna you never wanna think about, right? But then when you see them. You separate Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford just kind of like a key example of two different things, two different branches of things, right? Even when I looked at Lamar Jackson, the Lamar Jackson story is gonna make your head explode, because I'm gonna make your head explode. When Lamar Jackson threw his interception, right? When he threw that interception, and that was actually a good throw by Lamar Jackson. And I hated what everybody said. That's what people didn't get. I hated what everybody said because I was like, no, that's a good throw by Lamar Jackson. There's none of his receivers separating. There's nobody around that area to go and catch that ball. And what happened in the future? Oh, Lamar Jackson goes out and beats the crap out of the Detroit Lions, remember? So that's the difference. That's the difference. The thing that pulsates through my brain is I can see players that will make you be like, oh, I hate Jacob. I hate Jacob. You know, that's the thing I have. I hate Jacob. He knows his stuff. That's how I pick Max Crosby to go out and beat the team you don't think he's going to beat. Because I know who Max Crosby is. I really do. I know who Max Crosby is. I know that he's going to go up and he's going to put up a football game. There's... That's energy, people. That's the energy. The energy is you have to take that stupid football product. You have to take that dumb logo or whatever team you're passionate about. You have to throw that. You have to set that thing on fire, dude. You have to take a pee on a Detroit Lions logo. You know what I'm saying? You got to go take a pee on a Detroit Lions logo, and you got to say, I need to have a good player. I need to realize why does Cliff Averill go to the Seattle Seahawks and win 2 Super Bowls? You know, why does he go to the Seattle Seahawks and win 2 Super Bowls? You need to see stuff like that. You need to see. Oh my gosh, you need to see how the Seahawks get a good safety. They get a good wide receiver. Oh yeah, that's right. Golden Tate, check. Yeah. You know which safety I'm talking about for Seattle, right? Did you see people literally took cans of soda and they threw it at the Seattle Seahawks player when he got injured? They wanted him to get injured. You know they want him to get injured. You want to get rid of any player that's on the football field. Like people that cannot stand a team or they do not like that team. That's the thing. People literally hate Will Harris, people. I know. It's crazy to see like the easy thing, but they hate Will Harris, dude. Will Harris is another person that they would take soda cans and beer and whatever, and they'd throw it at him. They would. There was the whole thing. I didn't even like the Gibbs thing. You know, the Gibbs thing disgusted me. Of course the Gibbs thing disgusted me. But I also didn't like the pouring beer on Amon St. Brown. There's that story too. There's a story of somebody taking beer and pouring on Amon St. Brown. But if you've actually worked and done a job and if you've done something with your life, right? If you've done something, you'd realize that catching the ball as many times as Amon St. Brown's caught, right? That's the thing. Amon St. Brown, I'm not even talking about Amon St. Brown. I'm talking about Will Harris, right? But like Amon St. Brown, he has this thing where he could not do it. He could not go out there and not catch the ball that many times, right? And then if he did that, then it would show. And then we'd be like, oh, we're not even talking about Amon St. Brown. But guess what? We're talking about Amon St. Brown. We are talking about him. We are talking about him. Did you know I got a surprise for you people? My fanboyism is completely out of my body. You have no idea how much my fanboyism is out of my body. I said in my head, don't get too happy about Amon St. Brown. That's what I said. I said, don't get too happy about him. Because I had the premonition that Amon St. Brown was going to do good for 1 year, and maybe the next years he wasn't going to live up. That's really the thought that was in my head. That's the actual thought that was in my head. And then I was like, well, it's tough to be an NFL wide receiver. It's a very tough career position spot. I started to pay attention to the time. And that's the thing that a lot of people try to pay attention to is the time. Because what you'd rather do is you'd rather take that football player that's only got to be good for 1 year and you want to trade them. You know, you want to take the football player that's only good for like 1 year and you want them gone off your team, traded. You kind of want to like squeeze your team too. Like that's the thing. Your actual team that you try to support, you want to kind of like squeeze their neck. You want to take their neck and squeeze them and tell them, hey, are you guys going to get real football players? Are we going to finally have football players that aren't about the money? Yeah. If you don't want to go psycho, your team's going to suck. Yeah, that's right. Your teams suck, guys. And that's what you haven't gotten in your heads, that your teams all suck. My team has 8 wins. What's your team have? Oh, that's right. Your team sucks cock. But you're like not thinking about that, are you? Oh, yeah, that's right. Come on. Think about the record of your teams, man. 4 wins. Come on, dude. Your team has 4 wins. Your team doesn't have 8 wins. Oh, I'm used to tough love too, by the way. I'm just used to the tough love of it. I really am. I'm used to the tough love. I've had to be used to the tough love. I hate Justin Verlander. Did you get what I just said? I said something outside of football. I said I hate Justin Verlander. See what I'm saying? I hate Justin Verlander. I hate him so much. I hate him. I want him to know that I hate him. You know what I mean? I want him to know that I hate him. As one of the biggest Justin Verlander supporters, and then to see him get injured and then leave my team. What a pussy, dude. What a pussy, man. I hate that pussy. I keep him bundled up, and I you know how I let Matthew Stafford know that he's a pussy? Do you know why I let them both know that? I'm like, you guys didn't want to stay on my team. You guys didn't want to fix my team, dang it. You waste of time. You waste of time. Oh, you sick waste of time, dude. DeAndre Levy. What do you know about me? You don't know anything about me. DeAndre Levy is a clear sign you don't know anything about me. Did you know that when DeAndre Levy was a Detroit Lion, and when he was, that every football fan was like, I'm not going to talk about DeAndre Levy. I'm not going to talk about DeAndre Levy. When Micah Parsons could never be DeAndre Levy. That's the point. Micah Parsons will never be DeAndre Levy. You heard it from me. Never! 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 Talking about a Lion that's actually worth a matter on your team is a better thing to talk about than a Lion that's not worth 2 ounces of being on your team. Not worth anything being on your team. Why would I be critical towards the Lions O-line? Oh, I don't know, because I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, Lions offense, can you score 40 to 50 points? I want a 40 or 50 point game, you know? I don't want no stupid 38 point game. I want a 40, 50 point game. I want to have an O-line that goes out there and makes your life suck dick. I want you to really suck dick. You know what I mean? I really want you to suck dick. I want you to be realizing that I was at Lucas Oil Stadium when it was Lions versus Colts, and I told that Colts female to suck my cock.